The reason it's important that we know the money making model of our organization is because we're writing our own story and we want to know how our role impacts the money making model of the organization. Because the more we know that, the more we can make decisions based on our role in our day to day work that has a positive impact on the money making model of the organization, whether it's in how money comes in or how we manage expenses. We want to understand the correlation between our work and the money making model. We don't want to leave it up to a manager or a leader or someone else telling us our value. Of course, we want to take feedback and things from others in the organization. We're not isolating ourselves. We're figuring out how we can better connect to the things that matter most in our organization. Because if we're going to look for ways to increase our value, relevance, and impact, we need to know how our role has value, relevance, and impact. And so oftentimes we got into our career, our industry, our role because we have a love for that part of the business, whether it's HR or marketing or research and development or engineering. And a real miss in our society is not teaching every part of the specifics of a role, the money making model. Instead of leaving it up to a CFO or somebody in the organization that's in charge of the money, we're all in charge of the money by the way that we understand how it all flows and how it all works and how we can make better decisions to impact the money making model. Because money fuels the story. And so the more we can impact positively the money making model of the organization, the more sustainable, the more viable, the more we can serve our customers in greater ways, the more that we can have greater employee benefits and opportunities, the more that we can actively and intentionally drive the money making model of the organization in a positive way, everybody wins. And so I want you to take some time and think about, journal out, how does your role impact the money making model of the organization? I'll give you an example. So I worked for a staffing company. You've heard me use them as an example several times throughout this series. And we had a situation where every employee received a bonus at the end of each month based on the profit that we had in our branch of the organization. So there was a really strong correlation between our work and the money making model, which is powerful. Whenever possible, I highly recommend to leaders to look for this as an opportunity. It doesn't always work in large organizations for a variety of reasons, but it is a strong driver of people's behavior. So, in this particular organization, each branch would sit down at the end of the month and review what's called the P&L, the profit and loss statement, which was a reflection of how much money came in, how much money was spent, and then there was the profit that was left over at the end of the month, which all employees in that branch got a piece of that profit. And so in this organization, it was the responsibility of the front desk person to also order office supplies for everybody in that branch. So anybody that needed office supplies would go to the person at the front desk and leave them a note of, here's what I need you to order for me. And every month, they were responsible for placing an order to the office supply store for our supplies for the month. And it didn't take long for this front desk person to realize that the office supply expense would show up on the profit and loss statement, the P&L that we would review every month. And that expense also reflected in the profit, the bottom line. And once this person realized how that impacted her bonus, I can tell you it went a long way in her, was a her for this particular situation, coaching us in how we used our office supplies. So prior to her understanding this, you would just place your order basically with her and she would order it for you. That was it. But once she made the connection, if you placed an order for something that you needed for your office supplies, it was not uncommon for her to say, I just ordered those for you 2 months ago. Are you using them responsibly? Because if you were wasting office supplies, it was costing her money. And y'all, that's really fundamentally how business works. How well we manage our part of the business impacts everyone else because of the profitability. Because if profitability goes down, we all suffer from the impact of that. And in a great organization, when profitability goes up, we all enjoy the benefit, whether it's in new products and services that we can sell for more sustainability of our jobs, or whether it's bonuses or benefits of some other sort. Maybe it's training programs that we want to fund, or it's different in every organization. But I want you to think about how your role impacts the money making model of the organization.